Hello pro strikers. I recently released a video on Carlos Prates and it's done pretty well. Had some really positive feedback and many people requested more of Mr. Prates. So I've decided to break down a couple of his fights and how he sets up his devastating knees. So Prates will use his knees in multiple ways. He will lead with it. He'll go into a clinch and fire rapid knees as soon as they type into a clinch, and he'll counter with it. So in this fight with Diesel, we see him utilise all of the above. So something Carlos does when he wants to lead with a knee is he's going to grab at the hands, but he grabs at the hands all the time, and this is a big advantage of the fingerless gloves. He can reach out, he can grab at an opponent's wrists, he can grab at the opponent's forearms, and he can use that as leverage to pull himself into a knee, but he can also use it to jam up the opponent's punches, as when you knee, you're on one leg in the mid-range or in a close range where the opponent can usually punch. It is a pretty dangerous technique to lead with, so that's why it's a really good idea to be controlling the opponent's hands to stop them from banging off at you. Carlos will also punch by grabbing the hand. We're going to see that against Charles Radke. He'll grab at the lead hand of Radke in a southpaw versus orthodox matchup. That lead hand fight is important. It completely nullifies the jab of the opponent and it can set up his power side. And then he'll leap into a long knee. Because he's so much taller than Diesel Neck, he can lift it straight to his head. And if nothing more, it gets the Thai to back up completely. Carlos gains some ground. He gets to put himself on the front foot and he puts his opponent on their heels. So the first knee, he reaches up, slings it up to the head. The Thai opponent back straight up, and then Prates will grab again and come this time to the midsection, and you can tell that definitely hurt his opponent. The massive advantage of a southpaw when they throw their left side attacks against an orthodox opponent into the open side of their stance, but it's also attacking the liver. The liver shot's known as a game changer in boxing, and that's using a big cushion fist, whereas Prates is throwing an unprotected knee, a hard, bony, pointy object straight into the liver. So it's a nasty shot if he can land it. With Prates in this fight, you see him throw the knee in multiple ways as well. So when he's throwing it up high to the head, it's kind of like leaning straight back, getting as much height on it as possible, kind of slinging his knee, almost slinging the leg out. He's not really giving too much of a shit about where he lands after. When he throws his knee to the midsection, he throws it two ways. He throws like a short, sharp knee, like with the toes pointing to the floor, the legs really flexed, the knees really flexed. But then he throws a slightly longer one and he throws it almost like aiming for the liver. So he almost like turns his left knee out to the side because he wants it to go to the far side of the opponent's torso. So the way he finishes the fight on this occasion is with a combination of punches. He gets his opponent backed up towards the ropes and he peppers them with, I think it's an uppercut into hook, into a rear side knee. And the Thai just goes down like a sack of shit. He's annoyed that the opponent landed like a good shot, and he immediately presses like, I want to get you back. He's coming from a low lead hand. He's kind of like baiting the opponent to step in if they want, because he's got that knee in the backhand ready to go. He's always ready to throw if the opponent steps in on him. Whereas this knee was timed and landed perfectly. Has the opponent's back towards the ropes. This is the best time to land the knee. He throws the rear side uppercut into a lead hook, and the knee just comes right across. You see how he didn't turn it in this time. It kind of comes straight up from the floor to the point of contact. He's not really rotating it. I kind of like how as he throws his hook, he pivots ever so slightly, and that lines the knee up perfectly. He throws the uppercut, slight step off with the hook just to bring himself around on like a 45-degree angle, and then the knee is traveling straight from the floor to the liver. And yeah, the Thai instantly, immediately goes down of it. Fight ending shot. So Prates has got a great left hand. A straight left punch is a brilliant tactic against an orthodox opponent, and it can be reversed. Like an orthodox guy can lead with right hands against a southpaw opponent. You can just copy what the southpaw does to the orthodox fighter if you're the orthodox guy. So he's grabbing at the lead hand, and then he fakes the left punch. After already landing it, he fakes the left punch, which gets the reaction from Radke to bring his elbows up high, and then he slots the knee in underneath that. It's really beautiful stuff. Radke goes down instantly. It's a really painful shot. He gets the perfect point of the liver again, and only takes one. Prates is so experienced. He's obviously landed this shot many times before that he knows when it's done. He doesn't even need to follow up. It's a walk-off knockout. So because he's tall, because he's a rangy fighter, he can throw that knee from range, and he does it regularly in the bout. And he'll lead with the knee in pretty much all his fights. It's something he does just to close distance, just to push his opponent back. If he can't grab at the hands, he'll just throw his own hands out there, just put something in the way. Most of the time, he's not overly concerned with what's coming back because he's confident as well. If the opponent steps in on it to punch him, they're going to get hit with a knee. This is how to maximize your attributes. The beauty of a knee is it crosses over into the mid-range, where a shorter fighter is going to be at a slight advantage with their hooking punches. A shorter fighter is going to be able to generate more power and get to the target quicker in the close range, whereas the knee kind of nullifies that. So Prates is able to maximize his advantage in close range. So in boxing, straight boxing, he's at a disadvantage, but this is where the legs can change it. A lot of boxing coaches will be like, you need to stay at distance, you need to use your jab, you need to keep someone on the end of your punches. But when you've got knees in there, it affords you to step in, even elbows as well, because you can elbow down onto your opponent. This is why Muay Thai suits a taller body type and why Prates is having a lot of success using these weapons now it comes to mixed martial arts. He uses his left hand from distance and his left hand will close the gap, and then he puts a knee behind it. And something I've spoken about in other videos when we've talked about Pereira is making shots look the same. So Prates makes his left side attacks all look pretty similar. And when he's already in the mid-range, you can't tell if that's going to be a low kick, you can't tell if it's going to be a left hand, you can't tell if it's going to be a knee to the head or to the body. And it's a big problem then. You can't possibly defend all targets. So now we are going to look at Prates' knee to the body from within the clinch. And Prates' go-to is if his opponent gets him with a single collar tie or gets their arm around his neck, he'll immediately push on the face, steer his opponent to the side, and then that opens up their body to that left side knee. So Prates in this kickboxing match, he's going low hands, he's rolling with the punches, he's doing some pretty slick stuff in the mid-range, and then from these positions, they're ending up in clinch tie-ups. So we've seen his opponent commit on the shots, Prates roll with it, the opponent then steps in for some sort of smother, and Prates is able to get into a bit of a tie-up and bang off his left knee. So in this first one, he shoulder rolls, reverse shoulder rolls using the rear shoulder. So he gets out of the way of the left hand by turning away from it. Then he gets out of the way of the follow-up right hooks. His opponent's fighting in the southpaw stance with him. Then there's like a brief tie-up where the opponent kind of steps in to smother. Prates then immediately gets his hands into a position where he could potentially grapple with himself. But his opponent swims in to get a collar tie, but before he can do that, he's already eaten a knee to the liver. Perfectly placed knee, short and sharp, and Prates is a way of catching people when they're not expecting it. So again, here we see the opponent engaging in a clinch. The opponent goes for the collar tie, gets his head stuffed to the side, bicep control on the other side, and Prates slots in a knee to the open side of the opponent's stance. He's pushed his opponent's face away, opening their midsection up, and he can just drop a knee from there. Again, so he gets 2 8 counts against his opponent. It's a pretty competitive fight up until these points. It's back and forth. The opponent's by no means a mug, but Prates gets 2 8 counts. That's 2 10-8 rounds, and you're not going to do much with that in a 3-round fight. So interestingly, how the opponent prevents that when he gets back up is he squares up with the body lock when in the exchanges. So they're banging off. Prates goes for the same sequence. He's about to try and push the face, but the opponent comes in and gets double unders and nullifies that position. You can't push the opponent's face if they've got double unders. It only really works if they're coming over for the single collar tie, because then you can trap the arm. So you're pushing over the top of their arm and shoulder to steer their face, and then using your head and shoulder to pinch their arm and trap them. And that's what opens up the body. If they've got underhooks, then that doesn't really work. You're just kind of framing. And if they square their hips up, then there's just not going to be that same opening for the knee like there is if you can push their face to the side from the single collar tie. So in this example, this is a Muay Thai fight. This is straight Muay Thai rules in Thailand. And we're going to see a similar situation play out where Prates gets the knockout from the clinch. But what we'll see is he hurts his opponent before the stoppage. So there's a sequence that plays out where he catches his opponent with a knee beforehand, a short, sharp knee. And you can just see the grimace on the opponent's face. You can see that they're hurt before the finishing sequence. So here we can see Prates with the double long guard, both arms extended. The opponent tries to jump with a flying knee. His opponent's got a single collar tie, gets a knee, but then Prates turns him and lands a really sharp knee. And you can see straight away the opponent's posture is not good. That really hurt him. So it must have got him right in the liver. He's not enjoying that. He's grimacing. They disengage. Opponent throws a front kick. Prates tries to scoop him and lift the knee. Comes in for the attack. But you can see the opponent's face now. He's trying to protect that liver already. Prates goes for the left hook to the body. The opponent's already got his elbow down. He's like really revealing his head. But Prates is a smart man. So he's not hell-bent on head hunting. He's like, no, I'll go back to that body. It's going to present itself. You can see the opponent. He's already bringing that right arm down to shield himself. His posture's broken. He brings himself up on one leg to try and put something in the way. This is a classic Muay Thai thing to do, but you can see he's just not defending himself very well. Prates has been the experienced killer that he is, senses the end is there, and he goes in for a short, sharp knee after the boxing exchanges. So he throws the left hook to the body, comes back with the right hook to the head. The opponent tries to tie up to prevent it, and Prates gets a really short, sharp left knee straight into the liver. He's the liver hunter. He gets that shot so well, and that's the end of the fight. That is the end of that. So we can see there's multiple ways that Prates sets up his knee. He's got the counter knee. When an opponent steps in, he'll hold his feet. He'll let off a short, sharp knee as they step in, which, that's counter knees are one of the best weapons, because if the opponent's not expecting to get hit, or if they're coming in, they're throwing their shots, they're thinking about their offense, they're offensive minded. When they get caught with the knee, it hurts them and they're not expecting it. And then that will put a seed of hesitation, a seed of doubt in their mind, because they're like, bloody hell, I was leading. I wanted to do my game. And that really hurt. Whatever he just did to me, bloody hurt. And I don't want to get hit with that again. And the last way he'll land his knees is from within the clinch. And again, he's using his height to his advantage. He's using that tall man clinch defense of like, get off my head. I can just literally put my long arms over the top of your arms, push your face away, extend you out. I can trap your hand with my head and shoulder, and then I can turn your body on the side, which is going to open you up to more knees. If you enjoyed this video, then head over to the Pro Striking Patreon. I do more in-depth breakdowns and tutorials over there. There's loads of good stuff over there on positioning and technique. I put some extracts from the one-to-one sessions that I do at the UFC PI in Shanghai. So yeah, definitely check that out if you enjoyed this one. As always, thank you for watching. Pro Striking appreciates you more than watching Carlos Prates take people's souls with nasty knees.